Good evening, everyone. What's up? Just ate a satisfying meal and topped it off with a measly dessert. This is Mr. Hata speaking. Previously was the part 1 to the worst SpongeBob episodes of all time, 2015. This is the final and second part. This should be the final part. We left off at Season 7, so let's begin on Season 7, shall we? The first episode is Tentacle Vision. Tentacle Vision. Squidward just won his own TV show, yet people won't leave him alone. They illegally barge into his house, and yet they don't even get arrested. They ruin everything, and then Squidward gets kicked out of his house, and they won't stop being obnoxious at the end. And that Zeus the Guitar Lord is like a ripoff of Lo Anthony. No, Zeus the Guitar Lord is easily a reminder of Lo Anthony. Everyone in this episode was unlikable but Squidward. Plankton was even likable in this episode. Nobody but Squidward is actually a good character. I Heart Dancing was just boring. SpongeBob had the ability to dance also, which is uninteresting. Stuck in a Ringer. There is no explanation for this episode because everyone has given the description that everyone would give. Someone's in the kitchen with Sandy. This shows how mean-spirited this episode, the Bikini Bottom are. They think Sandy's nude, yet she's wearing a bikini. Oh, come on. They don't know anything. Greasy buffoons. All Mr. Krabs does is feed his customers pure fat. Why would someone feed the customers pure fat? Like, it's pure fat. That fat shouldn't be fed to people. That's unhealthy. Unsanitary. Doesn't Mr. Krabs know anything about sanitation since he owns a restaurant? What else is there? A Pal for Gary. The reason why this episode makes this list, not because of what SpongeBob did, but it's because of what that old gypsy with saggy breasts. Why on earth was she selling a pet if it's illegal? If she knows that it's illegal, then why is she selling it out in public? Those are like selling drugs. They shouldn't be sold in the public if they're dangerous. They should be sold separately. Want to shoot her. She's so hideous. Repulsive. And why didn't the monster just get executed? This episode would have been good if they had executed the monster. And it shows how lazy Gary is, too. Yours, mine, and mine. Patrick learns nothing about sharing in this episode. And he has some nerve to tell SpongeBob that he doesn't know anything about sharing yet. He wouldn't let Mr. Krabs just makes a cheap toy out of food, overprices it. But Patrick won't share with SpongeBob and his parties with it all day, won't even let SpongeBob have it. Screw Patrick. Just screw him. Summer job. SpongeBob won't quit annoying Mrs. Puff and then ends up getting her arrested. Yet how on earth does he get to teach at a school even though he's not a teacher? Mrs. Puff abused episode. What else is there? Oh yeah, the main drain. Why did Patrick have to pull the main drain? It was just a cop-out. They had to end the episode like that. Couldn't have the world just ended and end SpongeBob like that. Trent's Billies. Ugh. Ew. Ugh. Those Trent's Billies are so disgusting. They basically look like fish from the deep ocean, but except they're like southern. They have southern accents, but gosh, are they hideous. That's some of the most disgusting animation ever in SpongeBob. Repulsive, especially the mother. Oh, that episode. And it's a plot hole. How on earth did they escape? Did they get above the ground? That episode. Sponge Cannon was the worst of all of them. Squidward is miserable because everyone made him miserable, and then out of nowhere is that volcano, which is this randomness. There's no volcano to begin with. That dolphin who says that they need to sacrifice the most miserable person, they almost kill Squidward because he's miserable. Well, you made him miserable. They almost kill him. Squidward has to lie to beg for mercy, and then Squidward loses his house, and that was a sacrifice. What else is there? Karate Star. Patrick just destroys everything but doesn't even get punished. Even Squidward's better at karate than he is. Let's see what else. Earworm, boring, plus the song was so annoying. Why didn't you just kill the earworm? Rogue Attack was so lame. They had the Sniffles. They destroyed they ate Mr. Krabs' Krabby Patties, and they destroyed Bikini Bottom over the Sniffles. Why didn't they just get executed? They didn't even finish the story. New Fish in Town was boring. Plus, Howard was bland, and he just became like the rest of SpongeBob and Patrick and just didn't even show up ever again. Ruined a good episode. Ruined it. The most boring SpongeBob episode is Krusty Dogs. That is the most boring episode in the history of SpongeBob. And no, it really is. It is so boring that literally even the first 5 seconds of this episode are boring. The music, the plot, the characters, everything in this episode is boring. The jokes, everything is boring in that episode. Big Sister Sam. Why didn't they just assassinate her? She just destroyed everything, yet Patrick was defending her like that. All she did was destroy everything. Why didn't she just get killed by somebody? Oh dear. Season 8 is the worst season of all. A friendly game. SpongeBob and Patrick just end up destroying Squidward's house with their little golf game. Next. Even worse, Sentimental Sponge. Patrick is so dim-witted, and SpongeBob is it's just brainwashed by Patrick, because Patrick is sad just because he's getting rid of rappers. Well, you're supposed to get rid of rappers, and then SpongeBob hoards everything: sweat, grease, ketchup packets, tea bags, everything, orders. He hoards everything in existence, and then Squidward ends up suffering for that. He hoards everything, and then after getting rid of everything, his house is filled with photos of everything, which is even worse. SpongeBob didn't even learn his lesson about hoarding at all. What else is there? Sweet and Sour Squid. This shows how unlikable Mr. Krabs is, how unlikable Citizens of Bikini Bottom, and that includes the police, and how Squidward and Plankton should become business partners. And Squidward gets hate just because of his music, which doesn't even sound bad. And then Plankton gets arrested for something he didn't do. And then the police just destroy Squidward's property. This episode makes one angry. Even worse. The second worst SpongeBob episode is The Googly Artist. This shows how dim-witted the citizens are to think that Patrick is an artist. Patrick is not an artist. He was doing what a 2-year-old could do. This episode makes one want to, punch your TV and destroy it. That's how bad this episode was. And this is the second worst episode of all time. Let's see what else there is. Pet Sitter Pat shows how Patrick can't even take care of a pet. House vs. Sandy shows how SpongeBob and Patrick are irresponsible. The worst SpongeBob episode of all time is Smooth Jazz and Bikini Bottom. Patrick commits not one but 4 felonies, including sneaking up to a concert, going up on stage, eating backstage passes, and sneaking to the backstage. He committed 4 crimes and he didn't even get punished, and Squidward ends up suffering because of SpongeBob and Patrick. And everyone just hates him for no reason at all. This episode is the worst of all. Fiasco. Restraining... No, wait. Bubble Buddy returns. The sequel to Bubble Buddy. All that Bubble does is destroy everything and not even get punished. Even Bubble Buddy was a better episode than this. And the Bubble didn't get punished. At least Bubble Buddy was cool. Not that little baby Bubble Shiny, what his name was. Ugh. It didn't have anything to do with Bubble Buddy either. Restraining SpongeBob. After SpongeBob gets his restraining order, Patrick won't quit annoying Squidward. And this gets a restraining order, yet the restraining order is never mentioned in any other episode again. Which, why aren't they on restraining orders? Oh yeah, just to make the series last. Fiasco. This work of art, quote unquote work of art, is nothing but ketchup and mustard. Yet, well, Squidward likes it, but then Mr. Krabs thinks it's trash, and then Mr. Krabs considers it his property. Plankton steals it, the police chase him, and then Patrick eats it, and then Squidward and Plankton get arrested for no reason at all, yet Patrick doesn't get punished. And plus, that isn't even a work of art right there. And it shows how unlikable the police are, too. What else is there? Face freeze. Randomness. All SpongeBob and Patrick do are make silly faces to each other. They don't listen to Mr. Krabs. Why on earth can't they help themselves and make faces the whole episode? Then everyone ends up getting a face freeze at the end, which they didn't even deserve. It wasn't as bad as everyone else said it, but still a bad episode. Treats. That doesn't make any sense. How on earth does a company discontinue their products just because they're rich? They discontinue it in a short amount of time, and they're no longer in existence. That just makes one want to throw their TV out the window. It's that ridiculous. What else is there? Chump Fricassee. This episode had potential, but it screwed it. It had to take that little shortcut. Squidward and Plankton work together because Mr. Krabs is just a jerk. And then, yet, Squidward's grandma ruins everything, and Squidward is just treated like dirt at the end in a joke. He's actually a doormat. Come on! It had potential. Why did they have to do it? Oh yeah, just so the series wouldn't end. We're finally on Season 9. Season 9. License to Milkshake was boring, plus it didn't even make any sense. License to Milkshake made no sense at all. Patrick Mann wasn't even a good superhero, yet he got Mrs. Puff in trouble. Let's just get this video over with. Squid Baby already talked about boring. Little Yellow Book, everyone had the same reason for putting this episode on their lists, but this shows how hypocritical the citizens are. And a bunch of lies. SpongeBob's Spatula's name is not Fifi, it's Spat. And then everyone just bullying Squidward the whole episode just because he read a diary, yet they read it also. And then he is homeless, he gets arrested, they just throw tomatoes at him, especially Patrick who read it too. What else is there? Squid Defense. Come on, Squidward gets arrested just for defending himself? Really? There's like no more episodes to talk about. I think that's all the episodes there were. But God. Very sorry, but there were that many bad SpongeBob episodes. They haven't even made a SpongeBob episode for over a year. Like, when the heck is Season 10 supposed to come out? Well, the SpongeBob movies already came out. Everyone says it's great, but it probably had flaws there. That's all the episodes there. Oh yeah, Squirrel Records sucked also. That's all the episodes there are to talk about in SpongeBob. There are just so many episodes out there to talk about. So, that's all the episodes there are. By the way, there were some bad episodes in seasons 1 through 3 also that weren't even spoken of. About to get those out right now. If I can find it. Hang on, it's gonna be out. Alright, time. The worst SpongeBob episodes from seasons 1 through 3. I Was a Teenage Gary was one of them. Let's look. Sleepy Time sucked. What else was there? Can't think of any. Jellyfish Hunter, that also sucked. Welcome to the Chum Bucket sucked. The Fry Cook Games. Sorry if it was a popular episode, but didn't even finish the episode. SpongeBob and Patrick just gave up and didn't even win the medal. And plus, they're the only competitors in the whole episode. Come on! Sorry if this episode was popular, but oh well, if it makes this list. What other episodes were? Alright, Krabby Land sucked. More like Crappy Land. That was a boring episode. One Crab's Press was just boring and pointless. It was just utterly childish. One Crabs again was ridiculous. New Student Starfish sucked. That's all the episodes there to talk about, actually. So that's all there is. Sorry if those episodes were mentioned, but this is an opinion. That's all there is to say for the final part to the worst SpongeBob episodes. Sorry for this rambling so long, but there were just a lot of episodes that needed to be bashed on. So with that, there will be more rants coming out in March. The planned rants are going to be a top 12 worst TV shows in history, a big rant on Thomas the Tank Engine, and there will be a few other rants. So that's all there is to say for this video. See you on the next rant coming up soon. Good night.